Welcome to Eternal Manna, the daily devotional broadcast of Grace Gospel Church. We are looking at Psalm 62, and the title that we have given for this psalm is How to Live an Unshaken Life. We all get rattled by life, but how do we remain unshaken? And two times in this psalm, we find David saying, I will never be shaken because I have made God my trust. He says so in verse 2 and also in verse 6. So we are looking at the 10 secrets of an unshaken life from Psalm 62. And first of all, we said we need to rest in God alone. Number two, we need to cultivate a deeper relationship with God. Number three, we said we need to walk in humility. Number four, we said we need to challenge and confront the enemy. Number five, we said we need to trust in him at all times. And number six, we said we need to pour out our heart to him, to express what's in our heart without restraint. So today we want to look at number 7, and number 7 is to realize the true condition of all humans, and that includes you and me. So I'm reading verse 9, Psalm 62. I'm reading it from the New Living Translation. Common people are as worthless as a puff of wind, and the powerful are not what they appear to be. If you weigh them on the scales, together they are lighter than a breath of air. Now, straight away, we can say that David is talking about the brevity of life. Whether you're rich or poor, whether you're educated or uneducated, whether you occupy the highest rung on the social ladder or the lowest rung on the social ladder, we all have to die. And David is reminding us of our mortality, that our life is very brief at best. And he calls it a puff of wind. And so we need to recognize our humanness and that we are mortal. David goes on to say the rich are living a lie. For all their outward pomp, their inner lives are meaningless and empty. And a good example of this would be David's own son Solomon, who wrote an entire book, the book of Ecclesiastes, to describe his inner turmoil and emptiness and the frantic search for the meaning and purpose of life, even though he was the richest man of his day. They are only a breath. Yes, all humans are only a breath, and death is when we take the final breath. And the rich and the poor are equal at death. Death is the great leveler or the equalizer. And again, constantly we need to remind ourselves that we are a puff of wind and we are just a breath. Psalm 39, verses 4 and 5, David prays a prayer which we would all do well to pray. Psalm 39, verses 4 and 5. Show me, O Lord, my life's end and the number of my days. Let me know how fleeting is my life. You have made my days a mere handbreadth. The span of my years is as nothing before you. Each man's life is but a breath. We don't become morbid about death, but at the same time, we don't want to disregard death, because only when we are prepared to die are we truly prepared to live. So, in order to live an unshaken life, we must recognize our human condition, that we are mortal. Amen.